Alright, welcome back to the Buffalo Plaid tumbler tutorial. We are making this tumbler in these colors here. My last video we had a little whoopsie daisy, so I stopped the video. I haven't done anything else with the cup since then. I'm going to show you today how to do the lighter color. So I have basically the red on this. Now we're going to do the red and gold, but we're going to be doing the blue and the white will be my second color choice. So I'm just taking some of the blue that I had from the cup there and my white. Now this is a glitter and blanks number 30, my favorite. And we're mixing it together until you can get the color consistency that you want. This is the dark part. This is it with the white. I feel like it's going to be a little dark, so I'm going to add just a teeny bit more white into it. If you watched the last video, we did save the cup. It took both of us to be able to do it, but we pretty much saved it. I sprayed it down with rubbing alcohol and heated it up and just lightly rubbed on it, so it wouldn't be so lumpy when it actually dried. It would be a lot easier to sand and make it workable. So we've got our cup. I'm just gonna get my Mod Podge all set, and then we are going to start painting our glue onto the white squares and making our glitter mix square color. We are listening to Christmas music again. I will try not to sing with, but gotta have a little Christmas cheer at this time of year. Oh, see, now I said that. It's like the best song. Alright. So, basically the same step process. This part is the least difficult. Once we pull off the vertical taping, that's when it's going to get a little bit confusing, but I will try to make it as less confusing and as exciting as I possibly can. So in case if you didn't watch the other videos and you're wondering where I'm at and what I'm doing, I am putting Mod Podge in the squares from itty bitty corner to corner to get a full coverage of glue to make the squares of the Buffalo Plaid. Right now I am doing the light color we said there's 5 colors altogether, right? The dark blue, the light blue, the silver, the white, and the mix. Yep. So there's 5 colors altogether. Really, there's a mix of the two. You won't really be using, or you will be using the white. So you're basically, you have your red and you have your gold, but between that you have a mix of the red and the gold, which is going to be your blue and your white mixed together. So it's going to be blue, mix, white, and that's what this vertical is here. It will all come together, I promise. So just go right up to the tape line, make sure to get right into the corner. Try not to put it on too thick so you don't get the glue lines. Some people do square by square of glue. I do. Some people do multiple squares and then glitter. I feel like my Mod Podge always dries too quickly, so I try to do square by square. There is some of my tape lines that pulled up and the silver cup is showing through. If you wanted to, you could repaint it white with acrylic paint. I am not, but you could. I'm very surprised that I didn't. But for the sake of this tutorial and all the other things that's going on with this tutorial, I feel like once it gets the second coat, you will not be able to see that silver cup shining through. Now this, that might be a problem, but if it is, we'll run into that problem together. I just used 1-inch masking tape. I used the frog kind this time. The first time I used the regular white masking tape. Doesn't matter what kind of, or what size, or which kind you prefer to use. Just go with what you have at the house or what you can find for cheap. This frog tape was definitely not cheap, but somebody wanted to get it. That'd be my helper elf. Mr. Christmas himself. Alright, so you have your dark blue, which we did the other day, and then we're doing the mix of white and blue. We're going to go all the way around the cup and all of the white / silver. So it lifted up a little bit. Not sure if you can see it in the video, but I'm going to not push my glue underneath. And see if that works. If it doesn't, I might have to take up the tape and retape that line. So now I'm trying the multi-square to see if the glue dries fast. or if I can do a couple at a time. I have the dishwasher safe Mod Podge. It doesn't matter what Mod Podge you use. I've had a few different kinds since I started doing this glittering thing just about a year ago. I'd rather not use Mod Podge. I'd rather do the epoxy method, but with this process it has to be with glue. It wouldn't dry fast enough if you did use the epoxy. Although I do feel like I've seen a tutorial with a lady using epoxy, but I think she just did the regular Buffalo Plaid and not the Buffalo Plaid Extreme with the extra lines, with the black and the green thin lines. Normally it would be just a regular squared cup. It is a process. I definitely say to give yourself some time. If it is an order, let them know that you will have it done in a certain amount of time, but make sure you give yourself time. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time for any mishaps, like the tape pulling up the paint, knocking over water, whatever you think might happen. I mean, I said in my video earlier that I was super clumsy, and then I have proved it right there, being that I knocked over a whole Kool-Aid jug full of water that was warming up my epoxy A. As you can see, the silver under is a lot lighter than the white. So that we'll definitely need to do a second coat. But after I did the second coat of the blue, I was a lot happier with it than I would have been if I would have just went with the first coat. So make sure to give yourself time for that as well. And of course, if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact me with comments, or if you want to go on to my website is www.queenbee, the letter, not the insect.com, and I can get a cup on order if you needed to order one, or queenbeehive.com. Sorry, that's, see, I got a helper elf. He's enjoying watching all my bloopers. Surprised he's not videoing me while I'm videoing myself. We can play back the bloopers of my videos. I just started doing tutorials. My son thought it would be beneficial, being that I'm making the cups, and I don't mind if people see that I screw up, because it's bound to happen. And if you're new and you see some of the tutorials, they just are beast mode right through it. There's no accidents, there's no mistakes, and I feel like it's important to see what happens when there is an accident or mistake and how to correct it. And you might be learning right along with me. So he made me a YouTube account, and my helper elf Robert thinks that, weirdly enough, that I'm good at this, even though I get nervous to talk in front of y'all. I would love to go on live on the glitter page, but this is easier so you guys can come back and look at it whenever, instead of trying to follow along with me all this time. It is a long cup, but so pretty in the end. And I did forget to mention also that you want to make a lot of this mix, because when you pull up the tape, you're going to be putting the mix between your dark colors again, and then on your light colors it will be the white. So you want to make sure you have enough of the mix and you don't have to remake more. So then it's the same color throughout the whole cup. And I'm just using some freezer paper for my sheet of paper. I feel like the glitter doesn't stick to this as well as regular paper or anything of that sort. A lot of people are using parchment paper. I do like parchment paper as well. I just had the freezer paper on hand. So I also really like to use copy paper. If I could, I would grab some from the recycling at work, but we can't take recycled paper anymore because of our HIPAA privacy at our job. So unfortunately, I'm just reusing paper. Now once I change a different color, once I go from white, I won't have this. I'll have a different, just so I don't contaminate my white. My Glitter and Blanks white is my absolute favorite white I've ever found. There's lots of whites that she carries, but this one doesn't have like iridescent or rainbow or color shift. It's my favorite. I actually am waiting for her mailman to stop acting shady so I can get my package. He keeps driving past her house, slowing down and not stopping to grab the packages by the door. So hopefully, Amy, you get that figured out so we get our packages before your baby's born. Did I tell you that? She had a veteran sale, which was like amazing. And she had all these packages set out by her door, ready and waiting. And she has a video camera set up outside. Obviously I would too with all that amount of glitter that gets sent out, but her mailman drives like he's gonna stop, and then he whips past her house and leaves all the packages, doesn't even stop to pick them up. And it's not like it's like thousands of pounds of packages. I mean, unless people are getting crazy, which if they are, that's awesome for them. But he just keeps letting them pass. So she's getting hold of the postmaster. I'm sorry for the blank spots in my talking. I normally could talk somebody's ear off, but my concentration level on these cups is amazing. You would never be able to tell that I have ADHD. What are you giggling about?
What do you do like when you're in a store and you get your Christmas bulbs? It's funnier than hell.
So I bought some Christmas bulbs today at Target, which, mind you, they don't have any plastic for windows to insulate your house, which to me is absurd. But of course I can't just walk into Target or a store and buy the one thing that's on my list. So we were roaming Target, and supposedly I have a look on my face when I want something, and I'm trying to justify the cause of my wantings. And I guess it's just comical to my helper elf, because he's over here just giggling. We've been back from Target for a good 30-40 minutes now. But I did get the bulbs. He says he says that I look, or I hold the thing. In this case it was the Christmas bulbs. See, this is why I don't do glue faster than I can, because it dries too quickly. I know it's not focusing, but there's a big chunk of nothing there. Anyway, he says I hold, in this case, the box, and I start wandering off, trying to, I guess, figure out if I can afford it. I know I probably shouldn't be buying it, but I'm going to. I just have to figure out if I really should. And he says my face is adorable. Thank you, Robert.
We shouldn't need to rent the Eaton house in March.
And if anybody's heard me ever talk on our other page, I don't like fake Christmas trees. I don't like the way they feel. They don't smell. Hence, I was trying to buy a fir smell stick today. Comes in a pack of 6, and the smell was super strong, but that's because there was 6 of them, 6 sticks in this container. But I really don't even think I'm going to be putting up a Christmas tree as it is. Hence the reason why I really didn't think I needed to buy the bulbs. But basically the bulbs are silver, this color, and like white, or was it just teal and blue or silver? Anyway, I have been wanting to change my Christmas color look for a few years. I had red, green, and white or something, and I've been wanting to change it. Well, we were at Michael's the other day, and Robert said that, oh, here's the lullaby song again. This is the song that was playing, you guys, when I had my blooper. Robert said blue and silver weren't Christmas colors. I put them back. I ended up going back and getting blue and silver. So I bought the bulbs, needless to say. So we're back on row 1. I only know this is row 1 from the way that the tape was lifting. If you would want an easier way to remember that you had row 1, you could go back through and do your second coat on one of the squares so it has dried and you know exactly which coat or which row you started on, but you don't have to. You can just feel around to see which one has less movement of glitter. And then just add a little extra glue and tap it on, and then lightly drag. If it's starting to move your glitter around too much, let it dry a little longer. You are putting a second coat on, but with this light coat, you definitely want to wait till it's dry. I'm telling you why Santa Claus is coming to town. See, now I went and sang again. I apologize for that. I was never great in choir. I'm not great now. The only time I feel like I'm great is when I'm in my car by myself. But my son did tell me one time that I was a better singer than the person that was singing. That made me feel good. No, he didn't want something, Robert. I don't know who's singing. I didn't write it down. You're rude. He just said who was singing. Rude Al. Okay, you're not very much of a helper, Elf, if you're hurting my feelings. And then he said, well, I heard you sing. Rude. No, he is pretty nice. Just so you guys aren't like, wow, what a helper Elf. He shouldn't even be there. He's alright. He's actually helped out a lot with the whole website business and all of that. So if you have any problems with the website, let me know, because we'll let Helper Elf know. Oh, you want to know what my website is, you say? queenbeehive.com. Bee as in the letter, not the insect. Although I would have loved for it to be the bee, but oddly enough, it wouldn't let us have that name. All right.
Hey, are you high?
Hi, baby.
Oh, God. She's fun.
I know. So this is Indy, guys.
She feels good.
Oh, baby girl. No, 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 no.
Hey, come here.
She always likes to make an appearance. She thinks she should be famous. Which, really, what cat shouldn't be famous? She's a whole lot cuter than that angry cat. Did you hear that that cat passed away? Angry cat? The grumpy one?
One that bit you?
No, not the one that bit me. Alright, so that is the second coat of the mixed color. See, this is the first coat. That is the second coat. I will go through and I will do the second coat all the way through, and then I will come back and shoot another video for the next step. Thank you.